this video is for Petra Ecclestone. I have seen you in that documentary film by Jamie Johnson. That was a while back that he made that film, and I watched it for free on YouTube a couple of years ago, and I was very impressed with that film. It was very well done, and I always like to see pretty people and happy people. I mean, even though some of the people there had also experienced some emotional hardship, and I can very much relate to many of them. In particular, Sam Newhouse. And I know what that feels like. So I know the bullying, I know exactly how that feels, and I know that society is very neurotic. So anyway, I have been looking for you. I have sent you a message on Facebook, but I cannot use Facebook anymore. I just can't take it anymore. And there's a couple of things that I would love to talk to you about: philosophy, psychology, our lives. I see a lot in you that I think might be interesting for you to talk about, and maybe very helpful. And because I have grown up with people who are very much like the people in that film, and I know these different characters also, and I know a woman who is very similar to you, and I know her own struggles with things. And we have to be very careful who we associate ourselves with, because there's a lot of people out there who would love to take advantage of us, and I have been taken advantage of very big time by so-called friends. And some of these friends didn't even realize they were taking advantage of me. They just thought we just have it flowing, the cash. It just, why not waste everything in my house and in my room, So kind of like with that attitude, like they don't understand anything about resources or about people's feelings, or a lot of people feel like they need to now take advantage of it once they're our friends or something, this kind of attitude. And that is equally bad as Richard Berman exploiting his position as a market psychologist. It's not much different. They all feel like they're coming from different battlegrounds, and Richard Berman just says if he didn't do it, then someone else would do it. Or the people who take advantage of us, they will come from that position of total unempowerment, and they will think that they have been stepped on by society. I had people who don't know me at all on YouTube tell me that another guy who also doesn't know me and I have stepped on him like a rock. It's like, whoa, oh my gosh, I don't even know that guy, and I stepped on him like a rock. So it's those kind of things that I'm exploring as a hobby psychologist. I'm exploring people's minds, and I want to know more about things. I studied psychology, but of course I did not learn as much from my professors as I learned from observing the students. And now I have a so-called all-you-can-eat buffet available with the internet. And it is very interesting. So, and I see an awful lot. I see more than I sometimes feel like I can take on as an emotional, energetic burden. But that's why I have my friend Tablet to make videos with. And I can't talk to Paul about philosophy, so I talk to Tablet about philosophy, making a video for Petra Ecclestone. Yes, this is my imaginary friend, my imaginary cloud friend who doesn't even know me. So yeah, and maybe this video will never reach you. Maybe it'll reach you when you're 100 years old and when you still look like 20. So who knows? I don't know. But by that time I won't be here anymore. So, but anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm making these videos for myself mainly. And I enjoy doing it. And I just have this incredible joy in sharing joy and in sharing empowerment and in introspection and researching and finding holistic solutions for everything. So now this brings me to that main subject that I wanted to suggest, and I've been asking so many people already on the internet, different people, some of them are famous and some of them wrote me back, which is amazing. You know, they have so much, like Ben Goertzel, they have so much work to do, but Ben wrote me back many times, and I'm so grateful for him. He's my cyber angel. And Ray Kurzweil wrote me back, and this man also he's one of the chief Google executives, and the chief inventor and professor at MIT, and he takes time to write back, and he even sent us the book, his health book that he wrote, Transcend, and he hand signed it for my husband and myself. And my husband's mother's story touched him very much, because my husband took care of her for 10 years when she died from diabetes and suffered horrifically. And so this is what they're working on. They're working on eliminating illness, suffering, and eventually death. And why not? You know, I mean, we can always die later on in 500 or 1,000 years from a car accident, but that won't feel so super either. But by then they have great painkillers, they have much better technology in general, and they can probably repair a body in a very short time with robots. So, and if they can't repair the body, then they can probably clone you or upload you into a robot. There are all these possibilities. That guy Dimitri, you probably know him, you might even know him in person. He is maybe you're his girlfriend, I don't know. But Dimitri from Russia is working on this, definitely. And I think that's exciting, and he already has a customer. Gary in Mentum already signed up to be uploaded into the machine. And that's where I first heard about this technology. It's actually from Gary in Mentum, the famous YouTube philosopher, also known as Arthur Schopenhauer. I don't know, you're probably familiar with Arthur Schopenhauer from Germany. That was a while back, but he reincarnated into Gary. And so, and continues his work, you know, as miserable as he left off. He continues his work, but not everything is so miserable that he says. The way he communicates is very miserable, but it's still, you know, worth listening to the discussions and conversations, because that's way more worth to me, even if someone uses cuss words all the time and is miserable and treats everyone miserably. It's still way worth, much more worth than someone who's fake friendly and has nothing to contribute to the conversation. So, and I'm not making fun of this, I don't want people to think they have to be super educated and well read in the field of philosophy in order to join my conversations. No, absolutely not. You bring with you a wealth of information already in your regular day-to-day work lives or private lives or private secret worries and so on, but no one wants to talk about it. Most people think, oh, I need to hide all of this. Oh my gosh, that's embarrassing. But you know what? If you brought it all out, can you imagine the wealth of information that would come to the surface that can actually really be dealt with? And we can find real solutions, anything from jealousy to hatred to unempowerment feelings to greed even. I know a lot of greedy people also in person. And I do not want to change my lives with their lives. My parents have a whole like 10,000 there up out there in Germany, tens, hundreds of thousands of friends. Yeah, um, they would never come to the hospital when they're on their deathbed. So, but they do have one good friend, and she's a member of the family. I regard her as an aunt, or like a yeah, I regard her as the sister of my parents, because she's very close, and very few other people, not very many other people. So then my actual aunt as well, and so a former housekeeper who I can fully trust, and those people I fully trust. Those people are amazing. And I also trust my parents' gardener. He's also amazing, Nikolai from Russia. And yeah, that's the other people. Mm, I'm not so sure. They're very they're very vain, and they're very greedy, and they're very much into who is who, and into vanity, and just wanting to be accepted socially, which is number one on their priority list. And you probably are very familiar with those type of people. So anyway, I want to help everyone. I want to help the greedy person, the homeless person, the jealous person, the poor person, the rich person, everyone. I want to help everyone so that they in turn can make the world better for all animals. I want personhood rights for animals. I'm just packing it all out here right now. And we'll see who will latch onto it and say, yay, let's do this. It's like what Stephen Wise said already. Most people are heavily living their lives on the exploitation of animals. And that is probably the vast majority of humans that are making their business in one way or another on the exploitation of animals. And that has got to stop. And I am appealing to you, you are the woman with the cash. I'm appealing to you, if you are looking to have a greater impact on the world, not just get into humanitarian fields. A lot of the humanitarian fields are also highly shady. They're involving highly shady people, but it's not those only. There are also animal organization and environmental organization that I have seen personally who also involve some shady people. The causes seem good on the outside, but then when you look on the inside, what's there? A grant writer who buys herself a new car. Um, and plus, and much worse, as you get into the richer and richer and richer so-called charity type of institutions. And there's only a handful of charities that can be fully trusted. Sea Shepherd Conservation Society is one. Peter is another one. That's why they hate it so much, because they have made it so far and they have such an impact educationally that they are hated, and that's why Richard Berman is working hard to debunk them publicly, working hard to find something, some kind of fault that they can fabricate so they can hold it against them, so that they can turn the public against them. That's what it's all about. It's all about the exploiters who are hiring their market psychologists who can do some damage to our minds, to the public's mind. And so we have to see what is what. That's not always so easy to do, particularly not for most people who work and who are busy with other things and so on. But it's very crystal clear. Once you look into it, you can really clearly see it. Just follow the money trail. You know where it goes. And Stephen Wise is working on personhood rights for animals. I'm helping with my petition. I want everyone to sign this petition. And so those are all pet projects, literally. And we need to pet our animals more, okay? So, and kiss them more and cuddle them more, and our children too. I don't have children, but we need to cuddle every existing being that is already here. And then hopefully not make more, because the world is overpopulated and this is a fact, and we need to do something about it. And these are just helpless appeals to the public. I don't have any other form of educating people. This is the only way I can do this, through writing blogs and making videos. So my main thing that I have in mind, that I have been thinking about for the last couple of years, last 5 to 10 years, is to create a better communication website that includes a paint program. There are amazing paint programs already developed, online paint programs that people can use for free, and where you can paint anything you want, where you can create anything. You have all kinds of different brushes to use, different tools for painting and special effects and so on, and any kind of color that you choose from an amazing color spectrum, and you can just pick colors in between, and so it's very great. And I want this paint program to be at the center of this website. So when you come into the website, there is the paint program, and this should be a website for communicating with friends, for finding friends, for business people to meet, for anyone who meets anyone, who wants to meet anyone, not just dating, not just business, just, friendships, philosophy, conversations. I would say is an emphasis in it, because I want people to get involved in this. And that's also how we get to know each other better. That's how we really learn more about each other and how we think and where we're coming from, what kind of mindset, how have we been educated in our past, that has shaped people, and how we can transcend religion and oppression and exploitation. So how can we figure this out together, So, and the paint program is a very great icebreaker, ice melter tool, and also brings great introspection for ourselves and to learn more about the other people, how they paint and what they paint, and what's going on in their lives, and what the story is behind the painting, or the feelings, emotions, or dreams, and so on. So I think this would be absolutely amazing. And then, of course, the most important thing, make it bully free, make it religion free. People are not allowed to preach religion on that website. They're not allowed to bully anyone. They're not allowed to coerce someone into thinking the way they think, or shaming someone. All of this needs to go. Racism, shame, gender shaming, orientation shaming, all of this needs to be banned. And so specific programs need to be developed for this. They are also in progress. That is all being developed, and I think Mark Zuckerberg is using some of them because he got in trouble. He didn't know that people were bullying that much on his website. He doesn't have anything to do with people like this, so he doesn't really know what's going on in the shady corners. So, but he got a lot of complaints, from me included, about all the penis photos and all of this, which really is really, really annoying. So all of this needs to be weeded out. I don't like that terminology, weeded. I like weeds, so I don't like shady penis photos, particularly from people who don't wash themselves. So that we don't necessarily want to see all the time. And it needs to be done in a way where people really have to show more about themselves and not be interacting with other people in a very anonymous way, but in a much more personality revealing way, in a much friendlier way, in a much more open armed way. And open arms, not firearms, but real arms. Like I have my arms open for you. The hand is open like the Native Americans. The signal of friendship. That's what I want to see on that website. I don't have financial means for this. I have no idea how to do it. I have brainstormed on this for years. I've asked so many people. And one website designer for a living, he said, yeah, I will help you, but then he wanted me to pay for it. I said, I don't have any money. I need you to help me with this as a volunteer. Then we can do it together. No, then he wasn't interested anymore because he has to earn his money and so on. But, if I was a website developer, I would do that definitely for free. I would make that my hobby, my pet project. Yeah, but not everyone thinks like this, and not everyone is enthusiastic about making the world a better place. So this is my appeal video for you. Think about it. Let me know what you think. Make me a video back, or write to me, and I will. How do I leave my email address for you without other people taking it and sending me a bunch of commercials or hacking into my Google account? I don't know how to do it, but yeah, write to me and maybe we can somehow meet. If you write to me, then I can give you my email address briefly and can then once you have it, then I can delete that comment with the email address in it. We can do it that way. Then that way not too many people will see it, and then not too many folks are calling me on Google Hangout. I have people from calling me on Google Hangout who I've never seen. I don't know who they are. I guess it just takes leaving the email out there for a day or two, until some strange stalker type of people get a hold of it, and then they call. It's like I wish people would, instead of calling someone directly on Google Hangout or on Facebook, it's this messenger calling. It's like I accept friends, and then immediately, without even introducing themselves or not even writing to me, they immediately call me and want to hook up with me or something. Like, it doesn't work that way, folks. It just doesn't work that way. It would be, or for example, I left my Skype account for someone, for a friend on YouTube, and the next day I got strange men calling me on Skype. Why can't they write to me first under my videos and talk to me about the video subject and maybe get to know me? That would make me trust them a lot more, but they don't. Anonymously they come on to people wanting whatever, wanting this or that, and wanting favors or money or whatever. It's very sad. I find this all very sad, and I think with this amazing website that we could make, I believe that could heal people, and people can really get something like food for thought, like wholesomeness for them, for their minds, so that they don't have to hang in some kind of void, or have internal voids, and these very greed, needs, and other things that they act out, but instead have something substantial psychologically, so that they don't have to stalk anyone anymore. So yeah, we can do it that way. You can comment if you get this video. You can comment under my video. You can leave me a contact information, or I can just leave you my email address for a couple of hours, and we can talk through email or through video making. That would be the best. So take care. Bye bye.